So the story today is about how emotions in the wrong place at the wrong time can lead to a very bad and dangerous situation, like having an argument on top of a mountain. And all the good stuff that can happen in between while you're on a road trip in a beautiful place that you're not used to. Anyways, let's go to the mountains.
With you, the sun is shining 24/7. Cause when we're together, it feels like we're in heaven. If it will
Good morning.
get dark, you'll be my million stars. I know I can lean on you. Good morning. Like
This is just our vacation shot.
If I be a shooting star,
I gotta
make a wish. Let's go hike. I don't fake this kind of feeling, never felt so real. My heart is on the table cause you're my everything. I do. I wanna marry you. Cause when you're around I know it's true. The way you make me feel is so good, baby. So good, so good. Every single day we spend apart, I wanna be with you. Baby, take my hand, hold it tight just like you do.
So we drove around the national park. It's been closed for a while, and I know why, because the visitor centers were packed. Like, social distancing was not a thing. You know, I'm not super concerned about it, but the rest of the nation seems to be. There was even a girl wearing a mask walking on this trail. So we ended up on part of the AT again. Took the Forney Trail from just below Klingman's Dome around to the AT, and we're going back up to Klingman's Dome. I mean, it's only like 1.4 miles, but it's a little loop, and you walk along a ridge to get up to the dome. It feels good being back, but I gotta tell you, the Smoky Mountains are tough. They're
feels
always
real
raining.
Good. He complains about everything. You complained about the hostel, you complain about the trail.
Surround view of the Smoky Mountains. Let's see who the lucky person that gets this parking spot is. We got here about 11, maybe a little before 10. No, we got here about 10:30. It is 12:30 now, and the entire parking lot is full. Hey, y'all think I could get a Gatlinburg souvenir mask? Vacation on the pandemic? Myrtle Beach of the mountains. And this is the point in time where every news headline in the country said U.S. has highest death toll from COVID-19 in the entire world. Do we really have to ask why? We're stubborn, for one, as Americans. We don't do anything unless we're forced to. And two, we're not in very good shape. God we got out of Gatlinburg. Took a little detour outside of the park through some mountain roads going to Townsend, and we're headed to do a short, well, 2.5 miles in, 2.5 out, waterfall hike in the northwest corner of the park. So essentially we're hitting kind of the four corners and trying to stay away from the huge groups of people. So this is a really beautiful area, but we just got stuck on a one-lane road that's clogged with tourists. Like, we're not even a half a mile into it yet, and we're stuck. So here's your warning. If you want to drive through Cades Cove on the weekend, beware that lots of other people want to as well, and no one's in a hurry. I mean, I'm not in a hurry. I'm trying to enjoy my day, but sitting in the van, I get tired of sitting in the van, yo. Stephanie decided she was not going to sit in the line of cars and was going to get out and walk up a path. I thought she was just going to look at a sign, read it, and come right back. And she took off through the middle of the field. And now traffic's moving, and there's nowhere to pull over and stop. What the? Dude, this woman is driving me crazy. Like, at times I love her, and at times I cannot stand her. The graves behind the Cades Cove Church seem to date from like 1865 to, we saw one from 2009. He was born in 1924, so there's a good chance he was born to a farming family that used to live inside the park and left. Tough folks. The settlers of this great country.
Well, they destroyed the land,
They'd
and there's
be
no more
destroyed
wolves.
if they saw us now.
Both. They took away the wolves before we even got to know them.
They ate all their meat.
We don't. Survival of the fittest.
The fittest one.
No,
I'm just messing with you.
he's a
Yes, it's
nature
sad.
hater, an earth hater,
I'm a
and a
realist.
hypocrite. You like to pretend like you're all good for the environment, and when you talk to him, he hates it.
I'm
he
a
says
realist.
It is the way it is, and we're not going to change it.
But I'm glad the parks exist. They keep this beautiful
Tiny
environment
part
safe.
of it. No,
a
tiny
overcrowded
part
park.
of it. It's sick. But I'm enjoying the beauty of it, and but I feel bad now.
She finally got back in the van after ditching me.
But politics have come into play.
We're doing so well after the play. It's going away.
At a rally for President Donald Trump in Phoenix earlier this week, there was no social distancing.
This week, we just invested $40 million into Morehouse Medical.
After sitting in a line of cars playing stop and go at 3 miles an hour for an hour and a half, the Rich Mountain Road, 7 miles in, cuts back to Townsend. It's 12 miles of unimproved dirt road through the mountains, but we took it.
God, Colin, for God's sake, please!
If you wanna just ride the breeze, I'll go anywhere. West Virginia, baby, I don't care. Mexico on a wild hair. Have you ever seen California? Take a spot on any old map. Says a lie in my bags.
Last minute change of plans. We stayed at the Standing Bear Hostel, which is at the end of the Smokies on the AT. We have a loop planned today. We're going to go Mount Sterling, see a fire tower, along Baxter Creek, and then stay the night at campsite 36 and hike down the Big Creek Trail on the way home. This hostel's something else I gotta show y'all. Like laundry, they got a dryer, thank God, because we got rained on last night and we're sleeping in a tent. There are private rooms available, but they were full. And there's a bunkhouse behind me. I don't know how many bunks are in it, but I think it's 25 a night. Okay, real quick. Here's the showers. They are outdoor. This one's enclosed, but there is hot water. And the outhouse is right back here in the bushes. Put the sign down, and there's your toilet. There's a little bit of rain coming down. We just paid our ticket. You keep track of your own stuff when you're here. And we are headed to get breakfast and then go hike. Taking it easy, man. I don't think I've ever planned and done a one-day backpacking trip. Like, I got crazy and hiked 700 miles the AT, and then that was it until Louisiana last week. But I didn't plan that one. I just tagged along. All right, so we are starting the loop. Just crossed, I guess that's Baxter Creek. We'll follow the Baxter Creek Trail for 6 miles. Get on the Mount Sterling Ridge, and 12 miles from now we will arrive at camp. At 2 miles an hour, it's about 6 hours of hiking. It's 11:30 now. To put us in about, I don't know, 5:36, something like that, hopefully. I think I forgot about the fact that you have to walk uphill to get good views and flat surfaces. First 6 miles is 4,000 foot of elevation gain, like straight uphill. We're 3 miles into it. This is the third big log we've had to go over, which is kind of tough. Like, I got long legs, I can slide over them. Ready? This is like a life lesson. To get to the top, it's never easy. And you only get there by taking one grueling step at a time. Ready?
You want some?
Oh.
No? Oh. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. No backwards. So it was a crazy battle going uphill. I got soaked with sweat, and then we got to about 5,400 feet from 1,500 where we started, and I was freezing. Like, had to put a coat on and take a break and get some dry clothes. But doing much better now, and we're almost to the ridge line, just right up there. And then we'll have not flat, but flatter walking than the straight uphill we've been dealing with for the last 3.5 hours / 5 miles.
We've done 4 hours. We came out at 12. What time is it?
4:30.
So we've done 4.5 hours. Not 3
We've been
hours.
out here 4.5 hours.
He never gets the numbers right.
Oh, don't tell them that.
He doesn't. It's
You're making me
incredible
look
that
bad.
it's incredible that he's that wrong that much of the time.
She's
then
getting
he-
grumpy. It's the cold.
No, I'm not cold anymore, see? He doesn't know me. But then he does really good some of the time.
Oh, thanks, babe.
You know you're rotten.
The Smokies can have some really beautiful moments, but here's the problem. It rains all the time. It's the second wettest place in the United States besides Olympia, Washington. However, we got very lucky and just so happened to stop. Not stop, it started raining right as we were passing like this cave / rock outcropping / safety shelter. These mountains are pretty old. I don't think they're gonna fall on us today. I guess if they do, that's, here's your sign. It's time to go.
It's romantic and peaceful.
Yes.
I'm enjoying myself again. I think it'll pass too. So hold on tight, hang on tight. Okay, that's all I got.
I put my tent up right here in this cave and stay.
Slowing down.
Yes. I was concerned there wasn't going to be water up on this ridge, and we've got like 4 more miles to the next water source, and left a water source about.
4 miles. It has 700 feet. That's an arrow.
Stephanie.
Look at the sign.
Yeah, this water's clean. We don't need no chlorine.
It's coming out of a pipe
5,000 foot up, spring water.
that comes down a pipe.
Yeah, it's just a pipe into the earth back to the spring. So it flows out, so you can get it in a container easily.
I'll still take a little bit of liquid chlorine.
Get down here where there's no wind. Alright, we finally made it to the fire tower. And it is 6:30. Given our late start and my poor physical condition, I think we're going to camp here and finish the 12 miles out tomorrow.
Oh, it's a perfect night.
So it's time to set up the tent, cook some dinner, and get a little rest. Because we got to get an early start on tomorrow, so we got time to get back to town for our appointments. Holy shit. That's a terrifying shot. Our plans changed a little bit,
No,
but it
they're
should be
not.
beautiful out
They're
here.
not changing. He's a weak link, and I don't like
Wait. Did you hear that?
No,
But it
they're
should be
not.
beautiful out
They're
here.
not changing. He's a weak link, and I don't like
Listen one more time.
Not changing. He's a weak link, and I don't like
That is her saying, no, you are not changing our plans. And if you don't agree with me, then I'm going on my own. So I really don't know what to do right now because she just took off down the trail with nothing but a liter of water and like a little backpack with her clothes in it. I have all the camping gear. There are lots of bears without a flashlight. I guess she's got her phone. Do I really chase her? She spent one night in a tent in the woods in her whole life. The forecast says it's gonna rain tonight and early tomorrow morning. It's been so good. And snaps. Boom! Off the chain. Another fucking crazy Stephanie story. Mind you, this is not a city park where you get mad and get an Uber and go back to civilization. Like, we're in the middle of nowhere. The closest hotel is 50 miles away. That's why we stayed at Standing Bear last night. It is 7:15. She's about 20 minutes in front of me and is not stopping. There has been service, so I've talked to her twice on the phone, but she's not turning around and seems to think that she's gonna get to a campsite at the bottom, then hike 5 more miles out, get an Uber, a store, which is 3 miles outside of the park. I'll drop her suitcase off there. I can't deal with this shit anymore. Something could go terribly wrong. Here's our first turnoff. She doesn't have a map. So she just calls to tell me that she saw a black bear cub. I ask where she's at, and she says, I'm going up a hill. And then I told her to stop and wait for me. Says, stop calling me, you're wasting my battery. So I'm getting on the Swallow Fork Trail. It's 4 miles to the Big Creek Trail. It's 8 o'clock, which is gonna leave me with leave us with about an hour of darkness. Like, this has gone from, it's getting scary. Like, there's real problems out here. Water crossings and bears at night. And service is gone now. I waited at the campsite hoping she'd turn around, and she didn't. This is not my idea of fun. I hope the creator is looking out for both of us. If I can get her back in the van, I'll be happy. Following a creek now, it was 3 miles from there to 8:40, and I assume I've got about 2.5 left with 20 minutes of daylight. I hate walking through this stuff in the dark, especially when the trail's rocky and like I've slipped several times. I'm moving like a maniac. So it's 9:45 and the campsite's about a 0.1 mile away. So hopefully Stephanie's there and then it's all over. So I think she made a crucial mistake. She's not in the campsite. I woke people up, I was hollering, but they're all spread out. And without a map, I'm assuming she missed that. So I guess I'm walking 5 more miles back to the parking lot now. All right, I'm back in the van. 11 miles in the dark, 17 and a half for the day. Stephanie is back at campsite 38, where we started. Apparently, she took off. I don't even know if she was on the right trail to begin with, because I walked it and I should have passed her. I think she fell down the side of a mountain and lost the trail. Somehow made her way back to the campsite. There's cell service there, but nowhere else in the park, nowhere else on our route was there cell service. So I finally got back to the van, and there was a couple camping that helped her with, I guess they had a trash bag that she could use with a sleeping bag. And yeah, they were able to try to hold her over for the night. I've got some good Stephanie stories, crazy Stephanie stories, but this one takes the cake. We'll see how it ends. They got a hold of Ranger's dispatch. Ranger dispatch was able to get a hold of me. She was okay, even though she had to sleep outside and it's cold at 5,500 feet and raining. She made it through the night by sleeping under the steps of the fire tower. Currently, I was gonna get her to hike down the Mount Sterling Trail, which is 2.7 miles to the bottom, but it's kind of gnarly and she's not comfortable doing it. So I'm going to hike up to the top and get her, and we're gonna come down together. 3 miles uphill in the rain. My feet and knees are hurting from last night. I did not intend to do a 17-mile day. Thank God the road to the gap is gaining quite a bit of elevation. So maybe the hike won't be as hard as I was expecting it to be. So it's 9 a.m. and we're headed up. All I've got is a day pack, so it'll be much easier than yesterday. And it's raining. Who knows if it'll stop or not. I couldn't imagine being in her situation though, sleeping in the rain at 5,500 feet. I gotta get her off the mountain. Focus. Priorities. I mean, I'm so mad, but all I want to do is get her back to the van right now.
Hi. Miserable night because I don't listen to Collins. He's right. I'm wrong. He's the best. I'm an idiot. That's all.
It could have gone really bad, but it didn't. So thank God for that. The end of that Mount Sterling loop trail along Rocky Creek, anyways, it's this really cool creek full of boulders and like gnarly swimming holes and streams and rapids, and it would be worth doing in the daytime, definitely, but we missed that. What I do have to say is that our relationship after this hike was the best it had ever been. We got in the car and drove home with no fighting, no arguments, no, you should do this, you should do that, what's wrong with you, da 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 da, you know, all the stuff that typically goes on just disappeared.